Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch. Primordial, adjective, primordially, existing at or since the beginning of the world, earliest, primeval, representing or constituting an origin, fundamental, in biology related to an early stage of development. Somnolent, adjective, somnolently, somnolence, sleepy, drowsy, causing drowsiness. We think this is the primordial, unaltered material that everything formed from in the solar system. There is, in other words, something primordial, something foundational about thinking visually. Human beings experience evil as primordial, something that exists outside as well as inside themselves. Some type of primordial soup evolved into the planet's first cells, and for those cells to develop into communities probably took hundreds of millions of years. Roll the clocks backwards some more, say 13.7 billion years, and you land squarely in the primordial soup of the Big Bang. Darwin was vilified for even suggesting that humans evolved from the primordial ooze, yet science and reason proved him right. If you follow the lineage all the way back to the 1980s, you'll arrive at what Joule calls the primordial matching tile game, Tetris. A system straightforwardly resting on the principles of majority building best unites the primordial and contemporary values summarized above. It never occurs to us as children that these trees are anything less than primordial. In order to study the primordial Earth, the best place to go in the entire solar system may be the moon. Early in its history, Venus may have resembled primordial Earth, with oceans of water that allowed a foothold for primitive life. Secular evolutionists teach that all life developed by natural processes from some primordial form. How can we hope to trace the evolution of primordial matter to the abundances observed today? A few observers compared the achievement with the emergence of vertebrates from primordial waters, establishing life on land. I have nothing against snakes other than they creep me out because of the primordial fear ingrained in my amygdala that most of us are born with. The primordially shared language among different cultures reveals the common roots of humanity. On and on the machines extended, dark and somnolent in droning rows. White-tipped waves march across the darker, somnolent waters. This may have something to do with the fact that kangaroos are naturally somnolent during daytime hours. Lacking adequate critical discipline, ripe for market manipulation, we remain somnolent, gullible consumers, little more. An abnormal condition of health always precedes it, and the somnolent state of the outward senses is the first condition of it. Patients who were fully conscious or were somnolent but could be awakened to full consciousness and oriented for time, place, and person were eligible. The city seemed transformed, like a dream version of itself from which a somnolent atmosphere had been cast off. Wind made the street signs tremble. In other ceremonies, individuals enter somnolent or near sleep states in order to magnify an occasion's psychological impact and to induce spiritual visions. But those chores would find him on the porch, relaxing in his rocker and somnolently sifting through a batch of youthful questions. Fat triggers the release of a digestive hormone that seems to provoke a brain slump called postprandial somnolence.